I'm here at Manchester just after George Osborne's speech. I'm joined by my colleague Michael Deacon. George Osborne almost spoke about the rising sun of the future of optimism. I think he was trying to really get across. But Michael, let's start with that rather odd Karen Brady speech. Good jokes? How is it from inside the auditorium?
I found that a little bit weird, that introduction. It was incredibly breathy and sort of gushing, wasn't it? He's a man with a plan, he's my man. It was a little bit like listening to Marilyn Monroe singing Happy Birthday, Mr. President. It was weird. Indeed.
So they tried to sort of warm up the audience. It's quite odd being in there, as Michael and I were. It's a very flat auditorium, so some of Osborne's clap lines don't really come across as brilliantly as you might expect. Michael, how did you feel the politics was about the speech, and what was he really trying to get over?
Well, as we've seen from today's front pages already, the key theme is welfare. And something you notice about George Osborne's conference speeches, every year he gets just that little bit tougher on welfare, doesn't he? So last year he suggested that child benefits should be capped at 2 children. This year he's saying you've got to go to the job centre every day and you've got to pick up litter in parks. Next year he'll probably say the poor have all got to wear a funny hat, and then by the election he'll be saying let's use poor people for fuel or something like that, which would actually probably be a vote winner, because not only do you get welfare down, also cut energy bills. So look out for that in the manifesto.
Yeah. I mean, I think what he was obviously trying to get across a sort of dividing line with Miliband. I thought quite interesting that he was saying, we're serious, we're optimists, they're not very serious, they're pessimists. And then, as I say, this rather optimistic end passage. How well do you think that kind of thing works, saying that Britain is about a global player, it's about engaging with technology, it's about taking the fight to others. We are the nation that built the first nuclear power station, dug the first coal mines. Does that kind of stuff work?
I think to talk about new dawns and all the rest of that stuff that was the end, I kind of think you need to be Tony Blair to get away with that kind of
He said, of course, famously, a new dawn has broken, has it not?
That kind of thing, yes. Whereas George Osborne, he is just so naturally sardonic and you know, cynical, isn't it? It's hard to believe in it when he said. Actually, one of the themes of his speech, the word he kept using was grown up. He keeps describing us as a grown-up country, which is an odd word to use, I think, because grown-up in itself is not a grown-up word. Only children talk about grown-ups. It kind of makes it look as if he's saying we're a grown-up country, we're ready to get out of the cot and sleep in the big boy's bed without a nappy.
Absolutely. I mean, I think one thing that came across, which I think was quite interesting, this notion of help to. So he says, we're in favour of free markets, which is a good conservative message, but then he talks about help to buy and now help to work. So still very interventionist. This is clearly a response to the polls, which are still saying that people want to feel that they're helped. So would you say at the end of this, Michael, George Osborne, how many out of 10?
A soar away 4.